Hi YouTube, it's Vin here, and I'm going to talk about an album today. I'm just going to cut right to it. In the Airplane Over the Sea by Neutral Milk Hotel. Now, I almost don't want to talk about this album for two reasons. A, it is infamous for being either A, one of the greatest indie rock albums of all time, or B, the greatest indie rock album of all time. And the second reason is because I feel like music that's really complicated, I don't like to talk about. I do like to talk about it, but I feel like I can't do it a justice because, maybe I don't talk about stuff that's that out there, you know what I mean? I talk about metal, I talk about punk, dream pop, stuff along those lines that are easy to get into and talk about. But this album is unbelievable. It's absolutely incredible. And the reason I think it's so good is because it's emotional. It is one of probably the actually most emotionally gripping album I've ever listened to. It's the only album, and I'll admit this, the only album that's ever made me tear up. I listened to it once, but I was like half asleep and it didn't really hit me. And the second time I listened to it, I was actually right here, and it was like I was totally alone, and I just wanted to listen to it from start to finish. And the mood is just so heavy and saddening that it made me tear up. I was like, oh shit, you know what I mean? Intense. That's one of the great things about it. But the thing is, a lot of the lyrics, I have no idea what they're talking about, or what Jeff Mangum was talking about, the band's lyricist. Pretty sure he's the main lyricist and guitarist and vocals. And it's just, there are some songs, every song has hints, but there's not a song that you get a clear, yep, I know exactly what he's talking about, meaning, you know what I mean? In fact, most of the time, I have no idea what he's talking about. But just not only are the lyrics themselves disturbing, they don't need to make sense to be disturbing, but they're just, the way they're sung and the music, it's heavy, you know what I mean? It's emotionally heavy. Thing that's cool about this album for me is it's very dynamic. There's songs like Two-Headed Boy, Part 1 and 2, or Calmly, whatever you want, whatever you want to pronounce it as. The King of Carrot Flowers Part 1, that are just acoustic guitar singing. Stripped down, but still really powerful. And then you get songs like King of Carrot Flowers Part 2 and 3. It's both Part 2 and 3 are the same title. Holland 1945, Ghost. That there's so much going on, trumpets, all these, just this crazy instrumentation that literally right before it was just guitar and vocals. So there's so much variety on the album that really just pulls it through and makes every song so unique and different. And I'll talk about that more in the flow. There's two instrumentals also, Fool and Untitled, and they all have cool themes. Fool sounds like and my brother actually mentioned this, and it's true, Fool sounds like a very, very going to war kind of song, like a marching kind of song, with the drums, the very marching type army percussion. And then, not army percussion, but military percussion, I guess would be the better word, whatever. And then Untitled almost sounds like a happy coming back from war kind of feel. with this happy kind of, I don't even know what instrument it is, maybe it's like an organ or something, I don't know, but just kind of, you know, if you've heard the song, you know what I'm talking, I'm not gonna sit here and hum it, but, you know, really, really, you know, upbeat, bright kind of, song. So, oh yeah, production in the film. Production is great. Production's perfect. It's clean, but it has and this is what I love about it, it has a sense of old. The lyrics, the instrument, just the sound, the instruments, excuse me, the sound of the album sounds old. And it's a very eerie kind of old, and again, it helps the album, it helps the theme of the album really well. So the production's good, you can hear everything good, the bass is a little pushed back, but the songs are so powerful and emotional, they really don't need it anyway, so yeah. And then when there's other instruments like kazoos and clap and like and trumpets, they're always up front and you can hear them, and that's what's most important. So production's good. Flow. Flow is perfect. Each song goes from one to the next perfectly. They're all different. They all connect. In some way, it's like one work. It's not just like a bunch of stuff scattered throughout. So flow is perfect. And overall, this album gets... It's really hard. I'm going to say a 9.8. 9.8. The only thing that's stopping me from giving it just a full 10 is, I'd like to hear a little bit more bass. And the instrumentals, while I do like them, especially Untitled, sometimes, you know, they help with the flow, but I'm not a big fan of Fool. You know, that's just me. But every song is good, and this album is just great. If you haven't heard it, listen to it. It is just such a beautiful album. It's almost, you can't explain it. You have to listen to it to get it. So yeah, In the Airplane, Over the Sea, Neutral Milk Hotel. Please, please, please give feedback. I love getting comments. And I'm very thankful that the comments I do get tell me, you know, what I did wrong, what they liked about the video. I've been getting a lot of thought-out, constructive criticism type comments, and I need that. I love that. It helps me make my videos better. So, if you could, you know, give me feedback below, subscribe, and thank you guys for watching. See you guys next time.